All right, so we decided we're gonna do a live, and problem is we're trying to figure out how to do a video chat live with everyone via Messenger, and it seems to be impossible to find. So if anyone has any ideas as to how to do that, we be all over it. My Joanne! Sorry, I got excited. My Joanne is up in the house. So I've been working on this trichotillomania problem, and I think I'm doing well. See, I'm half Middle Eastern, and sometimes when on my side of my family, when we get the 5 o'clock shadow going on, you know. So I don't know, I think I'm getting it licked though. I got my unibrow rocking. I think it's looking good. I'm just trying to figure out what this mustache says. So, yeah, what we're trying to do, I know there's different apps that we can use, and what we're trying to do is to do it. Some people have been telling me that that Facebook Messenger, which is, you know, a lot of us are on it, and we're trying to use it to be able to do it on the public page. So if anyone has any recommendations, please feel free. But I do, like I told you, if you know what trichotillomania is, I usually say trichto blah blah blah, but I'm becoming a bit more articulate lately. And if you know what that is, give me a thumbs up or say what it is in the comments. Do you know what trichotillomania is? I wish Alyssa were here. She is my pro at saying that word. I'm a little bit of a rookie on it. Valerie, you've been losing your hair. I've been having the same things happen, from thyroid stress, being sick and everything. Oh, I remember I was looking at, do you ever look at pictures of yourself and you're looking at yourself from like a year or two ago and you're like, I had a lot more hair. I remember there was at a point where my hair was so thick and long when I was at my absolute worst, which was bizarre because it never happens that way. You're not at your worst malnutrition weight. But I had this thick, long hair. I didn't even realize that it was nice, thick, and long until what happened was a sweet woman named Tina, one of the reporters who came from Germany, she asked me, it was like, I guess it was on people's minds and nobody said anything. You know, when people look at you and they have something that's like they want to say, but they don't want to, you know, they don't know how to ask. But my Tina is such a sweetie pie. She goes, Rachel, I got to ask you, are those extensions in your hair? And I went, what? I'm like, no, well, number one, I couldn't afford that one, you know, with all the medical. No, not gonna do that. But it was more of a joke, and I'm like, really? That's that? I didn't even know that people thought that. So it's crazy what you know people will think, and you know we won't say it. And I'm like, nope, that's my real hair. And then now it's all kind of like blah blah blah. My lies this year, I got my Liz bowls. I call them Liz bowls. And those bowls that you sent me, and yeah, Valerie, I know it's like I've been noticing, like with all the things that have been going on and the sickness and all that you know, it shows up in our hair so much, and I don't know why it, like, I don't know if I'm just alone in this, but it feels like a body part when I lose my hair. It's like losing something, like, I mean, you know, women, I'm obviously lost my chest, or I don't really care about that, but my hair. Alyssa, you showed up. Alyssa, you showed up, and I was just talking about you. I was saying that I think I got the trick. I think I got the word down. I go, my Alyssa says it better. The trichotillomania, I think I licked it now. What you think? I didn't say trick to blah, blah, blah. Am I saying it right, Alyssa? If I'm saying it right, give me a thumbs up. Yeah, Heather, it's absolutely true. The thyroid, it messes so much with your hair. And right now, like for me, I'm hypo currently. I'm on a, levothyroxine, which is a common thing to help the thyroid in these times. It's kind of like in our family, but I typically don't have thyroid problems unless I'm in this condition. And then, as you know, it suppresses the metabolism. And then I got a fun fact for you. I have something that I call refeeding hunger. And I have to explain this kind of hunger to people. And those of you who've gone through refeeding, and what refeeding is, a lot of you know I had, I like to say had, but I guess it's not had because, I'm still not in the physical condition, but I have anorexia nervosa, and during the process is something called refeeding, and it's a very delicate process. So refeeding syndrome is when your electrolytes shift and you can go into heart failure, liver failure, kidney failure, and I've had that happen before. But it's actually not as common refeeding syndrome as you think. It's actually, people go through refeeding process and they get symptomatic of all sorts of things, but the actual electrolyte shift itself, which it can be fatal, and many a times it is. That's how a lot of us don't make it. It's one of the highest mortality rates of any psychological illness, which is, I understand why, because I was explaining to someone even today that during recovery, your body is very questionable. It wants to survive, and it does all sorts of funky things. And for me, it never happens the same each time, which is really weird. Hey, Kelly, welcome here. Yeah, and so really, like, this time was different for me. My sweet Carol is here. My Carol showed up. Oh, Rod showed up? What? You're showing up? You're in our apartment. How you doing that? Are you still showing up? I loves that boy. He's my sunshine. Literally we spend 24/7 right together. And you would think we would get sick of each other. We were having a little bit of a laugh. I know I'm kind of rambling, but it's kind of funny. I had to tell you guys this because Rod and I are used to being around each other. So we're seeing a lot of people post like, things like, oh, I'm with someone and it's we're trying to get through being with each other. And, or they're enjoying it, or they're not enjoying it, or they're neutral about it and trying to make the best of it. We're all trying to do that. And I'm like, you know what I think people are having? They're having a little bit of what, this is what Rod and I do on a daily basis. We are with each other 24/7, and I like him, I like him a lot. And I don't know what it is, but for some reason he likes me too. I don't know why, but I think I'm gonna keep him, I know. And Carol, you're going to work at your supermarket. I really want to give a shout out to those of you going through, pardon me, who are still working and are in the supermarket. The doctors out there who are still working, the nurses, even your mailman, all these people who are still out there trying to make sure that everybody's taken care of. I just want to get a shout out of love, because if we don't have you guys around and your courage and bravery, we need to make sure we're taking care of you, and a little thank you is in order. And you know what? You can't even, how you try to call the stores and you can't even get to anyone anymore? Well, one of the things one of the stores had on a voice recording, And I just want to put that out there, is that they're saying, remind the employee that you're grateful for what they're doing, because believe it or not, they need to hear it, you know, more than we think. And Valerie, a nurse, bless your heart, we need to thank you guys more often. And I want to just say that to everyone, because Jennifer, my sweet Jennifer, Jennifer Jacobs, her and I have acted in a short film before. We had such a good time. I can't believe that. Look at you showing up. My Allie's here. Look at you guys. Christine up in the house. My girl. Do you like my little signature move here? I kicked that hair pulling habit. You liking that? No, you know, for me myself, I'm battling with some behaviors, and it's things like the hair pulling. You know what I notice is, like, I posted something about that I got from a family member. She's wonderful. It was about ADHD and anxiety and how the symptoms are and the cross between them. And a lot of us have both, right? And so there's so much more info out there, and I'm putting out things out there so that way, you know, to remind us of what our qualities are, and things that we all share, because we're all trying to make this work here, you know. And yes, please, by the way, please feel free to message me any questions or anything. But I've noticed for me, in this, I know you like that. Oh, I'm gonna do the little twirly, like, you know, the cartoons on where the villain goes on the railroad tracks with like Bugs Bunny, and he's doing that twirly mustache thing. So, but I know as a personally, I'm having some behaviors kick up during this problem, and I was sick. And in that problem with that is I wasn't able to eat during that time solid foods, and that creates, you know, for a long period of time, it creates issues. And so I've been attacking them because I have to go full force on it. I'm using this as an opportunity to really fight forward on every front that I can. And that's by reaching out, talking to you guys, being just really grateful for what I know. I need a black hat, like a big old, like, what are those what are those hats called that stand up? I'm totally top hat. That's what it is. I need one of those big top hats and then do the twirly mustache. But yeah, I've been having behaviors pop up. I've noticed I've been pulling my eyelashes and things like that. But what I'm thinking is, I notice that when I'm doing it, I don't even notice I'm doing it, like biting nails or things of that nature. So during this time, I also want to let you guys know. What's up, Lisa? Kara's here. What's up? I wanted you guys to know that I did a video. For some reason it popped off. I did a live video last night at like 2:30 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. We're in California, about eating disorders and the corona. And Rod is putting it out there. He's reposting it. And I'm going to ask you guys, if you could, to please share if you feel appropriate, because what's going on is people are being sent home from treatment and things like that. And I'm just going to, without going into too much detail, there's a lot of issues that are going on. When things are out of control, that's a big thing for eating disorders, right? We need a sense of control, and we control the things that we can control. Well, when things are out of control and people are hoarding and doing all these things, then we, like a person can go into a store, like someone who's anorexic, or not want to go in because they're like, we could use that as an excuse, right, to not eat. Well, let's let the other people have it. Or with bingers, well, I need to hoard. or, you know, sometimes in bulimia, we need to hoard so we can still have that fix if you're in that area of disease. So it triggers a lot of things, and then on top of it, it's a nest for isolation, and that is absolutely catastrophic, deadly. Reminder, in the eating disorder arena, we don't have a rock bottom, you know, with like examples of addictions and things like that. There are rock bottoms that are hit, right? Our rock bottom is death. That is the rock bottom that we experience. So as a reminder, I just really reaching out to each other during this time. And you're going to be, and those of you as a caregiver or a supporter in any way for anyone in any way, in anything like that arena of mental health, a reminder that you might be met with some aggression, because now that person is being visible with their behaviors, which means that they're going to be looked at, which means they're going to be monitored, and they don't like that, you know, inherently. So it's like, you know, we don't want our behaviors found out, or people monitoring our foods or anything that we're doing like that. So it's a very triggering experience for those who are living with someone, even when they're with someone, and is triggering to be alone, because that's when the behaviors start taking hold and swirling down. So Angela, thank you for mentioning that you went through that when you were in your eating disorder. I know I do not look well. I've been getting a lot of people saying, you know, such kind things, and some people don't understand that you guys are being sweet. I understand I've lost, and I have. I've also explained, I wanted just to remind people that each person goes through refeeding differently, but a lot of us put on edema initially, and people misconstrue that as weight gain, but it looks nice on us because it makes us look healthier. But that water will fall off, and when that water does fall off, we're left with the true weight, the real weight. And then people will start saying some very unkind things and get angry and aggressive, which comes from their lack of an understanding. It's not to be angry back. It's to see, with negative feelings come from a place of not understanding. The more we understand each other, the more empathy, emotional intelligence we have. It doesn't just help the other person, it helps us, right? It diffuses this. It diffuses our negativity. So, reminder, when those things happen, that person also feels really ashamed already. Like hearing those things. I feel guilty and ashamed. And this is not a disease where you want to compound more negativity on it. It's a hellhole in here. We don't need any more hell, right? And granted, we're the ones making our own hell, but it's a disease. It's not a choice. Any expert will tell you this. Please, please understand, this is not a choice we just make. It's not like, I just don't feel like eating. It's not so casual. It's a very deep embedded sickness. I was telling someone today, it's like depression on steroids is one factor. Then you have ADHD, PTSD, all these acronyms of a list of other diagnoses you're combating that just compound each other. So this is the time for us to shine, be that freaking kick butt unicorn that you are, being silly. And you know what? Sometimes people will say things about what I joke about. You know, I have to joke a lot. And understand, I never tried, like I have a bit of a, you know, I'll get funky with my humor on myself. Like Rod and I have to make jokes like this. You have, it's like some people have, you know, in the past have said, like when I was at a hospital, they put on 40 some pounds of me in just a day and a half. And some people were like, had written, and no, that can't happen. I'm like, oh, well then you might want to like tell my doctors in the hospital that almost killed me, that put me into heart, liver, and kidney failure. People want to tell you what happens and what doesn't. But I understand why. It doesn't make sense. Like, how would that happen? Well, our bodies are crazy. So I'll make fun of stuff like that. And publicly, I'm a bit more careful because I don't want to offend anyone. But at the same time, if we aren't laughing at ourselves, we're too uptight. We gotta laugh, right? So laugh with me. I mean, we make fun of everything, and it's okay to make fun of it. You know, that's how we keep our sanity. It not in a derogatory way, by offensiveness. I'm not saying that at all. But to be silly, and I make fun of my eating disorder. I make fun of my habits because you know why? It brings for me, why it helps is it allows me to have an outlet to say I'm doing that. But I know I'm doing it and I'm going to work on it. If I don't joke about it or if I don't say something, that's when it should be scary, because that's when people are being secretive and hiding it. But when we're open about it and creating an environment where, like my Allie, if she wants to come on and talk, if my, you know, if my, like my people who go through things, if she wants to come talk, let her talk. Nobody caps on her, not on my watch. You know, we keep this positive. We can be critical, absolutely. Without criticism, we can't move forward. If we're always happily and criticizing, or not criticizing and reflecting, how are we going to be people of substance? I just know the most amazing people who go through those trenches. Those are those people that I'm like, wow, there's some stuff there to them. I want to know that person, you know? And during times in my life where I've had a lot of bad things happen, of awful, icky abuse, and I was wondering, why does this keep happening? I'm not doing anything. I'm as prudish as you can be. Why is this? What is going on? Well, sometimes you know, for me, I had to look at myself. Is it, you know, when you've been victimized, are you acting like a victim? Or if people don't want to hang around me, am I being so negative? Would I want to hang around me? So when I look at what people are saying or doing, instead of pointing that finger, I'm reminding when I was a kid, there are 3 fingers pointing right back at me. And I'm the one who needs to work on it. I can make this important. I can make this depressing. I can make this as crappy as I want to be. Or I can be content. Like, I don't need to be happy all the time. I don't want to be happy all the time. I truly don't. I want to be content. I want to fly level. I don't want to be, I mean, we're going to be sad. We're going to sit with sadness. If we didn't have sadness, we wouldn't know what happiness was. So let's learn to sit with our sadness and deal with it and be silly and just be overall content. That's my goal, you know, as a human being, and just keeping that humanity. I know I've been all yappy, but I had to say that. And what we're going to be doing is, if you guys have any, like, because we're trying to figure out how to use like Facebook Messenger on our public page so we can invite people to video chat with us, because we can have some like good like conversations together where we can see each other. And I would freaking love that. I mean, I know you guys have to see this ugly mug all the time, but I want to see your lovely, beautiful faces. I want you to see you raggedy, no makeup. Let's just tie the hair back, put it in a bun, and let's be each other. No judgment here. Not allowed. It's like, I put my mustache on. I got my little, like, my little marker going and my unibrow. So I'm going to rock on. And do me a favor, on our YouTube channel, because we are doing YouTube lives as well. and we're alternating, and I don't want to miss you guys. Could you do me a favor and go to that channel? You have to hit the subscribe and the bell. You have to hit both to get notified. And also, we're going to be doing it here. But if you guys know how to do the messenger lives, please let us know, because we'd be all over that. I want to talk to you guys, and I want people to see us talk. I mean, it would be fun. We could be, Christine, careful what you wish for. You and I are going to do a duet. Me and you. And we're going to be like, so what, we stay home. So what, if you know what I'm talking about. I have a video that Rod just is posting right now. It was a PSA. I'm going to say it one last time. Please reshare this. This is an important video that's not being talked about with those going through a problem of mental health and eating disorders and things like that. Let's reach out. Love each other. We get dumb. So what? We're quarantined. We can still have fun. Just come and hang with me so we can connect with our family, which is how it ought to be. Last time. So what? We stay home. So what? We're quarantined. We can still have fun. Just come and hang with me. We can still connect with our family and with Rach and R.O.D. Woo! Love you guys. Be that unicorn. We'll see you tomorrow.
Where's my mustache?